about Michael and Chelsea. They have had quite the tumultuous relationship since they were on this show. Chelsea accused Michael of DV one time and he was arrested. He even had to start a GoFundMe to raise money for legal fees, but luckily that case was eventually dismissed. And then he posted a video of Chelsea on a security camera of her snorting some white powdered substance off a table. Well, then suddenly, months later, out of nowhere, Michael posted that him and Chelsea were back together, and everyone knew this was a terrible idea. And he posted that they just celebrated 4 years together the other day. And I was like, okay, so is he living in Ohio with her again? Because he had moved all his stuff down to Kentucky to get away from Chelsea and start over, but he kept going back to Ohio to see Chelsea. And that seems to be a big mistake because he was arrested once again after a dispute with Chelsea. He was arrested on August 10th at 8:29 a.m. So they had an early morning fight. Like, the only thing I'm worried about that early in the morning is get me some damn coffee. And he was arrested for DV out of all charges. So they're alleging that he put his hands on her once again. So Chelsea posted on her Facebook and she said, my phone got stolen. Message me on Messenger, and when I get my phone back by the officers, I'll reply. Going through some bad stuff and I need prayers right now. And then Starcasm shared a post that Gio Malik shared where she said, don't have my phone and Mikey stole it. He's arrested for other DV again. Don't come at me till you hear my story first. I can't text or anything until the officers bring my phone back. Thanks. Well, it looks like we finally learned the reasoning behind their big fight. I'm going to assume, this is just speculation from what I'm seeing here, that Chelsea got a hold of Michael's phone, went through his phone, and then she found these messages that she's posting here. And once she got her phone back, or his phone once he was arrested, she started posting on Facebook these messages. This was posted and deleted yesterday. It says, as a gay individual, this is Michael's Facebook, I'm thankful for the financial benefits I receive. I'm also at ease with relationship arrangements that others might view as unconventional. I've been talking to this guy, Brandon, and he's been supporting me with money with everything going on and not working. So she claims that he's not working, which, I mean, it could maybe make sense if he just moved down to Kentucky back from Ohio. It might take him some time to get a job. And then there's a comment from Michael's Facebook that said the truth will come out. So this is a picture, I guess, of the alleged guy that Michael was talking to. Okay, so I think this is a conversation where this guy was sending Michael money, and I guess the guy was like, your girlfriend doesn't ask about this money you're getting? And Michael said, she don't ask who it's from because I buy and resell. I use it a lot to sell online. And then this guy said, I just sent some. And he said, thank you so much. You be getting laid a lot. And he said, not nearly enough, but kind of recently it's been better, yeah. And he said, wow, it turns me on when you ask questions like that. Didn't expect that. And Michael said, really? Everybody has to bust. Michael said, it's soft so you can see what you could be sucking on. And that guy said, yeah, but it turns me on when guys like you ask me sex questions. And he said, oh my God, I'd love that. I need a full body nude. Then then Michael said, yeah, we 66 most times. And then he told this guy to just cash app him. And the guy said 69. And Michael said, with two guys, it's called 66. And this guy says, haha, whoa. Who was he though? And then he told him to send his Cash App. And Michael said, I mean PayPal, I wish I still had my Cash App. He was a guy that I grew up around. He was older than me. And I ended up staying in his apartment for a few months. And this guy said, and you wanted to experiment? And he said, no, he wanted some single man dick, and it just happened. And this guy said he was gay, ? I love single man dick. And Michael said, yeah, haha. And this guy said, that's cool, you're open to it. And he says, yeah, well, I get horny easy, and I want to F, I'm gonna. And this guy said, I like your style, did you like anal? And Michael said, yeah, I'd bust in his ass every time, LOL, fire. Then this guy responded and said, wow, damn, I'm jealous to be honest. And Michael said, really? Haha, surely not. And this guy said, I definitely am. And he said, I'm going to send you a video as soon as she leaves the room. Sounds like he's talking about Chelsea. And this guy said, oh yeah, please do it. Man, she's always with you, huh? Then Michael said, hey, my cousin said I can use her Cash App and she lives with us if you're okay with it. And I will admit that some of these messages were posted out of order, so I think this is one of them that was out of order. So Michael said just a finger, and he sent the shocker symbol, and this guy said, haha, no, that's the shocker. That's different. That's for chicks. And Michael said, I'm either the one doing the sticking, though, fingers and penis. So he's saying, like, he likes to be the top. And this guy said, haha. And then Michael said, usually. And this guy says, okay, so tell me what happened with a guy 7 years ago. How'd that go? And then Michael said, mostly head and anal for him. Happened on enough like 4 months. And this guy said, you gave him head. How did you meet him? And how did it go down? A friend? Tell me everything. And then he said, wait, do you have PayPal? And then he's like, no. And then this guy said, I know you said you had experience maybe 7 years ago. I definitely think you'd be a top, to be honest. And Michael said, yeah, I agree, LOL. And he said, haha, but you also probably like your butt played with. Most straight guys do. And then Michael said, never tried it, men or women. And this guy said, not even a finger? Well, trust me, a lot of straight guys like it. Some stimulation down there. And Michael said, haha, no, it's a little different for me, that's for sure. And this guy said, wow, maybe try. Then Michael said, just a finger, and sent the shocker symbol. And that's when the guy said, no, that's just for females. And he's like, I just like to be the one penetrating with my fingers and my penis. And you know, you guys have already seen the rest of this text message because I accidentally read them out of order. So Chelsea or whoever posted this from Michael's account is definitely bringing the receipts. All I gotta say is Michael needs to like stop going back to Chelsea, because one of these times he's gonna F around and be found guilty of DV, and that's gonna change the way people look at him, and people are gonna be like, dude, this man is a freaking woman beater. I mean, right now, he hasn't been found guilty of anything, but he's definitely been arrested and charged for the time being. I did try to request more information on his arrest, but usually I can do it online or just send an email, but I guess the police department that arrested him, they only do it to where you have to either come in person to their police department, and that's all the way in Ohio. I live in Missouri. Or you have to send a letter, but of course I don't have any stamps on me, and then so I gotta go buy me some stamps today, stamp the letter that I filled out, and then send that off, and then wait a few days for them to get it, then a few more days for them to reply. But once they get my letter, they're supposed to reply to me in my email and hopefully send me the detailed arrest report. So I'm hoping I'll have that, like, I'm saying I should have it like maybe in the next 2 weeks tops. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated with more what happened once I find out more. But let me know what you guys think about this whole mess in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.